Laura had seen plenty of odd things as a mother: scrapes, bruises, fevers, mysterious bumps that came and went. But nothing had ever scared her quite like that little red dot on her daughter's neck. At first it was nothing. Just a faint bump near Mia's collarbone, barely noticeable under her soft brown curls. "Mommy, it itches," the 7-year-old had said one afternoon, scratching at it while watching cartoons. Laura leaned over the couch, glanced once, and smiled. "It's just a pimple, sweetheart. Don't scratch it, okay? It'll go away soon." Mia nodded, but her small fingers kept drifting toward it. She was curious. That kind of curious that only children could be about their own bodies. Days passed. The bump didn't go away. In fact, it grew, slowly but undeniably. What had been the size of a pinhead now looked swollen, angry, almost throbbing under the skin. When Laura brushed Mia's hair one morning, she frowned. "That thing's still there?" "It hurts now," Mia said softly. "It feels like it's moving sometimes." Laura froze mid-brush. "Moving?" she repeated with a nervous laugh. "You mean it's pulsing like your heartbeat?" But later that night, as Mia slept beside her, Laura could see the bump clearly under the lamplight. The skin around it was tight, stretched, and there was a faint shimmer of fluid beneath. For a horrifying second, she thought she saw it twitch, not in rhythm, not like a pulse, but an irregular shift as though something was alive inside. She blinked. Maybe she imagined it. She had to be imagining it. By the next morning, the bump had turned reddish-purple with a small black spot in the center. Mia whimpered when Laura touched it. "Don't, Mommy, it hurts so bad." "Okay, baby, okay," Laura said, voice trembling. "We're going to the doctor. Right now." They drove in silence, Mia clutching her stuffed bunny in the back seat, her face pale. Laura's hands shook on the steering wheel. She kept replaying the last few days in her mind, how she'd ignored it, how she'd said it was just a pimple. The guilt already felt like a weight in her chest. At St. Luke's Clinic, they were ushered into a small examination room. The smell of disinfectant was sharp, the air too cold. Mia sat on the table, small feet swinging, tears brimming in her eyes. Dr. Rivera entered moments later, a composed woman with kind eyes and a calm tone. "So, Mia," she said, crouching down to the girl's level, "you've got a little bump bothering you, huh?" Mia nodded, silent tears slipping down her cheeks. Dr. Rivera gently parted her hair and examined the swollen spot. Her expression changed almost immediately. Not panic, but deep concern. She pressed lightly around the bump, then drew her hand back as it twitched. She glanced at the nurse. "Do you see that?" The nurse nodded slowly, eyes wide. Laura felt her heart drop. "What's happening? What's wrong?" Dr. Rivera took a deep breath. "Mrs. Dawson, this isn't a pimple. And it's not a regular abscess. It looks like a living organism under the skin." "A what?" Laura's voice cracked. "What do you mean, living?" "I'll need to make a small incision," Dr. Rivera said quickly. "Please hold her hand. It'll be over in a minute." Laura's knees went weak. She sat beside Mia, clutching her daughter's hand tightly as the nurse prepped the instruments. The air filled with the sterile tang of iodine. The bright overhead light made everything look too real. The glint of the scalpel, the trembling in Laura's fingers. Mia whimpered. "Mommy, will it hurt?" Laura swallowed hard. "Just a little pinch, honey." "You're so brave." Dr. Rivera leaned close. "Deep breath, Mia." The blade made the smallest cut, just enough to open the skin. A thin line of blood trickled down Mia's neck. She flinched but didn't scream. Then something shifted. The wound bulged, a slow, sick movement under the surface. The nurse gasped. "Oh my God," Dr. Rivera steadied her hand. "Stay calm." "Almost there." Laura's stomach turned. She could see it now. The skin rippling, pushing outward as if something was trying to crawl free. Mia sobbed, clutching her mother's arm. "It's moving, Mommy. It's moving!" "I know, baby, I know," Laura whispered, her own tears spilling. Dr. Rivera pressed gently on the edges of the wound, then used forceps to grasp whatever was beneath. For a second, nothing happened, and then slowly something pale and wet began to emerge. The nurse screamed. "It's alive!" Dr. Rivera gritted her teeth, pulling steadily until the full thing slid free. A plump, wriggling larva, thick and grayish-white, its body slick with blood. It writhed in the forceps, curling and uncurling in the doctor's hand. Laura's own scream echoed through the room. "What is that? What did you just pull out of my daughter?" Dr. Rivera dropped the creature into a metal dish where it squirmed violently. The nurse jumped back, hand over her mouth, eyes wide with horror. "It's a botfly larva," Dr. Rivera said quietly, her calm voice returning though her face was pale. "They sometimes lay eggs through mosquito bites. The larva burrows into the skin and grows over time." Laura was speechless. Her entire body trembled as she stared at the thing, that disgusting living creature that had been inside her little girl. Mia sniffled softly. "It's gone now, Mommy?" Laura nodded quickly, brushing tears from her cheeks. "Yes, baby. It's gone. The doctor got it out." Dr. Rivera cleaned the wound carefully, applying antiseptic and a small bandage. "She'll be fine," she said. "We'll prescribe antibiotics to prevent infection. You caught it before it did any real damage." But Laura couldn't stop staring at the dish. The larva twitched once more before going still, its body gleaming under the harsh white light. When Dr. Rivera sealed it in a glass specimen jar, Laura had to look away. She felt dizzy, like her world had tilted. All those nights she'd told Mia it was nothing. All those days she'd ignored it because she was too busy, too tired, too trusting that small things didn't matter. And yet, something had been alive under her daughter's skin. The nurse disposed of the instruments, still shaken. "I've seen abscesses before," she murmured, "but never that." When they left the clinic, Mia clung to her stuffed bunny, sleepy but relieved. Laura held her close all the way home. The autumn wind felt sharper that day, the sunlight too bright, too harsh. That night, Laura tucked Mia into bed and kissed her forehead. "You're safe now," she whispered, brushing the bandage gently. But as she turned off the lamp, Laura caught herself glancing at Mia's neck again, just to be sure. Then at her arms, her hands, her legs. Every small mark made her heart jolt. She knew she'd never look at a pimple the same way again. Sometimes the smallest things we ignore are the ones that should scare us the most.